Hi, this is Graham Jeacocke. Now, part of a section of a Mosaic law is ridiculed, and it's one that it gets a lot of requests to answer on. And the section is he shall take him to the door of a doorpost and pierce his ear with an awl. Then he will be his servant for life. Now, this is a bit of a longer law. Now, you have to read from the beginning of Exodus 21, from verse 1, to understand its context. But to judge it, okay, first of all, the atheist is not recognizing that the slave has a willing choice to accept the consequences of something. This atheist doesn't want to give the option to choose something bad. That's the whole point. But let me remind the hypocrisy of this statement, because it goes, the end of this law, it says, then he will be his servant for life. Now, the closest contrast for atheism. Now, let's look at George Best, Gaza, Richard Burton. Now, Richard Burton was one of my childhood heroes growing up. Then I found out he had a drinking problem, and it's rather sad. But this is the hypocrisy and deceit of atheism, because you, yes, I'm pointing the finger at you, because in atheism you demand and expect a person to suffer and endure the bodily abuse by drinking. How many times have I seen where tough guys, you ain't tough, boy, having a shot of whiskey and downing it and going, ugh, because it burns their throat, and you are sitting there or standing there judging this verse that says, he shall take him to the door of a signpost and pierce his ear with an awl. Richard Burton, Gaza, George Best, and countless other atheists. What did Gaza do? Gaza was willing to put himself and risk his health to satisfy the demands of atheism. Because I'm pointing again, atheism wants you to get drunk. You enabled Richard Burton, Gaza, and George Best to get caught up in addictions. You are the lowest form of wretchedness I have ever come across. You are snakes. You are hypocrites. And there's another verse which I want to contrast it again with atheism. Now, atheism, because I've got a background in martial arts, I know all about how men and women have to prove themselves. They like to lose a couple of teeth. It shows their manhood, how tough they are. Give me a break. You see, in the Mosaic law, God gave protection, personal injuries. If an owner knocks out the tooth of a servant or slave or whatever you want to call it, that servant is free to leave. He or she is compensated. So, in atheism, do you get compensated for when your teeth come out? When you boys and girls are fighting, like for gangs or for individual cases where you get caught up and you lose your tooth, do you get any help? Well, if you trusted in the Jewish and Christian God, you would have been compensated. But Mike Tyson, of all the bodily abuse Mike Tyson has had, he was never compensated. Anyway, that's it. You know, I was trying not to swear and curse